If you grew up in the 2000s, had access to the Disney Channel, and a stable internet connection, it's likely at some point in your childhood you interacted with a Disney-developed MMORPG. Looking back on it, this is a strange and very experimental time for Disney's foray into the video game market, with every MMO we'll be discussing today ultimately being abandoned. It's clear Disney's experiment with the genre isn't fondly remembered by executives. And for the last MMO we cover in this video, it's an MMO I've never even heard of until I researched for this video, so make sure you stay to the end. Today on Save Point, we'll be discussing this strange era of Disney MMOs. We'll cover every major MMO released by Disney, including each game's development history, generalized story, mechanics, marketing strategies, player reception, and the current legacy of the games. Let's get started. In the early 2000s, the concept of massively multiplayer online games was growing in popularity. Disney, always keen to innovate within the entertainment industry, saw a unique opportunity to create a family-friendly MMO, one that would cater specifically to children and young audiences. Thus, ToonTown Online was born, a virtual playground where players, or toons, could band together to fight against robotic corporate overlords known as cogs, all in a whimsical, cartoonish world developed by Disney's virtual reality studio. ToonTown Online was officially released on June 2nd, 2003. The game is often cited as one of the first MMOs designed specifically for children, focusing on non-violent, cooperative gameplay. The development of ToonTown Online began in the late 90s, with Disney seeking to combine the growing appeal of MMOs with the company's iconic animated style. Led by Jesse Schell, a former Disney Imagineer, the team behind ToonTown was tasked with creating a game that was accessible and easy to play, while also appealing to the wider Disney fan base. The core mechanics of the game were unique for the time. Players created customizable toons, selecting from a variety of animal species and designing their appearance with different colors, sizes, and clothing. The game's objective was simple: stop the cogs. Cogs are robotic, suit-wearing enemies that want to turn ToonTown into a lifeless corporate world. Using turn-based combat, players will utilize gags to attack the cogs, employing pies, anvils, seltzer bottles, and other comedic tools as weapons. Higher level cogs were tougher to defeat, encouraging players to work together in groups to take down the most powerful enemies. For a children's MMO, the combat system was surprisingly deep, with higher level encounters being an almost guaranteed wipe if players don't work together. When players utilize the same gag track, their damage will combine to create various multipliers. The game also featured a variety of activities beyond combat, such as fishing, gardening, and estate customization. These mini-games provided players with rewards like jelly beans, the in-game currency, and helped break up the combat-heavy gameplay with more casual, relaxed activities. Disney put significant effort into promoting ToonTown Online, particularly by leveraging its existing channels like the Disney Channel and various other platforms. The game was heavily advertised as a safe, child-friendly MMO, with Disney emphasizing its family-oriented content. The game's tagline, "The first MMO for kids and families," became a central part of its marketing, highlighting its distinction from other MMOs at the time. If you grew up watching the Disney Channel during this era, it's almost guaranteed you've seen a ToonTown commercial at some point in your life. They were extremely frequent during the late to mid-2000s. These marketing strategies helped ToonTown develop a strong player base early on, although it never reached the massive numbers of mainstream MMOs like World of Warcraft. However, as the MMO market became more competitive, ToonTown began to struggle to keep up. By the early 2010s, Disney had started to shift its focus towards mobile games and other online platforms, and ToonTown Online saw a decline in both development resources and player engagement. In August 2013, Disney announced that ToonTown Online would be closing its servers, with a shutdown date set for September 19th, 2013. The decision came as part of Disney's broader move away from MMOs to focus on other digital platforms, like Club Penguin and later Disney Infinity. The shutdown of ToonTown was met with disappointment from the game's dedicated community, many of whom had been playing the game for nearly a decade. In the lead up to the game's closure, players held a large in-game event, saying their final goodbyes to their characters, friends, and the game world that they had come to love. Despite the official shutdown, ToonTown Online has lived on through fan projects. The most notable revival is ToonTown Rewritten, a fan-made recreation of the game that launched in September 2013, just a few months after Disney's official servers went offline. When Disney's Pirates of the Caribbean movie franchise became a global hit, it was only a matter of time before the company looked to expand the world of Captain Jack Sparrow and the Black Pearl beyond the silver screen. Released on October 31st, 2007, Pirates of the Caribbean Online, or Pirates Online, was Disney's attempt to let fans live out their pirate fantasies in an MMO format. By immersing players in the swashbuckling world of the movies, Disney hoped to tap into the growing MMO market while also expanding the reach of the beloved film series. While Pirates Online may not have reached the heights of other Disney MMOs like Club Penguin or ToonTown Online, it did build a devoted following of players who were captivated by its unique mechanics, open-world exploration, and surprisingly deep naval combat. Pirates Online allowed players to roam the Caribbean, engage in ship battles, hunt for treasure, and encounter iconic characters like Jack Sparrow himself. The development of Pirates Online began in the mid-2000s, when Disney's virtual reality studio wanted to capitalize on the massive success of the Pirates franchise. The films had already established a rich world full of lore, unique characters, and larger-than-life adventures, making it a perfect setting for an MMO. The game was developed to allow players to create their own pirates, with full customization over their appearance, clothing, and weapons. Pirates could sail their own ships, recruit NPC crews, and explore a world full of islands, quest, and loot. Combat was a key feature, with players engaging in both sword fights on land and naval battles at sea. Players will take on quests that take them all over the Pirates universe, interacting with famous characters from the films, including Captain Jack Sparrow, Will Turner, and Elizabeth Swann. These quests range from simple treasure hunts to epic sea battles against the British Navy or ghostly pirate ships. One of the most innovative mechanics in Pirates Online was the ship combat system. Players could own their own ships and upgrade them with better cannons, sails, and crew members. Ship battles were one of the game's main attractions, with players steering their vessels and firing cannons at enemy ships, all while dodging enemy fire. The game also had a robust land combat system, where players would engage in sword fights with enemy NPCs and rival pirates. In addition to combat, the game featured an array of mini-games and activities, including fishing, gambling, and voodoo magic, which added layers of depth to the gameplay. Disney's marketing strategy for Pirates Online heavily leaned on the popularity of the film series. The game was launched with cross-promotions tied to the release of Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End, which came out in 2007. Trailers for the game featured action-packed naval combat and promises of adventures on the high seas, all while highlighting the connections to the movie's characters and locations. Disney also used the Disney Channel and other online platforms to promote the game to younger audiences, positioning it as a natural extension of the movie-going experience. Despite its strong marketing push, Pirates Online struggled to capture the same level of attention as other Disney MMOs. Part of this was due to the game's more complex mechanics, which made it less accessible to younger players, which was Disney's core target demographic, with older players already playing other more established MMOs like World of Warcraft. Pirates Online did develop a dedicated fanbase. The game's sense of adventure, coupled with its connections to the Pirates franchise, kept players engaged, even as Disney struggled to provide regular content updates. In 2013, after 6 years of operation, Disney announced the shutdown of Pirates Online. The game was officially closed on September 19, 2013, the same day as ToonTown Online's closure. Disney cited a desire to focus on other online properties, such as mobile games, as the reason for the closure. Following the shutdown, a group of devoted players launched The Legend of Pirates Online, a fan revival of the original game. The game has been online and operational since 2015, keeping the pirate adventure alive for a new generation of players. In the mid-2000s, as the MMO genre was rising, a small team of Canadian developers saw an opportunity to create a fun, safe, and socially engaging online world, specifically designed for kids. What started as an independent project quickly evolved into Club Penguin, a game that would capture the hearts of millions of children around the world. Launched in October 2005 and later acquired by Disney in 2007, Club Penguin allowed players to take on the role of penguins in a vibrant, snowy world filled with mini-games, social activities, and virtual parties. Club Penguin became a cultural phenomenon, offering a virtual space where kids could not only play games, but also learn to socialize in a moderated environment. For over a decade, this MMO provided millions of players with endless entertainment, allowing them to express their creativity by customizing their igloos, adopting pets, or puffles, and dressing up their penguins. Club Penguin was originally developed by a small Canadian company called New Horizon Interactive. The team had initially created a smaller scale multiplayer project called Penguin Chat, which was a simple chat room based game where users could play as penguins. Building on that concept, the developers realized that they could expand the game into a more robust online world, designed specifically for children, with safety and fun being the top priorities. The game officially launched in October 2005, and its success was immediate. Kids from all over the world were logging in to experience the quirky mini-games, to decorate their igloos, and chat with their friends, all while unlocking new outfits and items. By the time Disney acquired New Horizon Interactive in August 2007, Club Penguin had already amassed millions of players, and the acquisition marked a new era of growth and resources for the game. At its core, Club Penguin was designed as a social MMO, where players could waddle around a wintry island, engaging in a variety of activities with their fellow penguins. Popular minigames included Kart Surfer, where penguins rode mini carts through underground tracks, ice fishing, where players had to catch fish while avoiding hazards, and most famous, Pizzatron 3000, a pizza-making game that rewarded speed and accuracy. These activities provided not just entertainment, but also a sense of accomplishment and progression for players. When Disney acquired Club Penguin in 2007, they quickly integrated the game into its broader media empire. The game was heavily promoted across Disney Channel and Disney's other online platforms, cementing its status as a go-to MMO for children. Club Penguin became not only a game, but a major brand within Disney's lineup of digital entertainment. Disney also used cross-promotions with their other properties, creating unique in-game items and events tied to their movies and shows. Club Penguin was a hit with millions of active users around the world. The game's combination of creative expression, social interaction, and mini-games offered something for everyone, regardless of age or skill level. Children loved the bright, cartoonish art style and the freedom to customize their penguins, igloos, and puffles. More than just a game, Club Penguin became a social platform for kids. Despite its overwhelming success, Club Penguin faced challenges in later years, especially as mobile gaming became more dominant. Disney tried to modernize the game with the launch of Club Penguin Island, a mobile-based successor, but it struggled to capture the same magic as the original. On March 29, 2017, Disney announced the closure of Club Penguin, citing the shifting landscape of digital entertainment and the growing demand for more mobile experiences. The shutdown was a somber moment for millions of players who had spent their childhoods in the virtual world. Following the official shutdown, a fan revival project, Club Penguin Rewritten, launched just months after the original game's closure, with dedicated fans working to create the game's original charm. Club Penguin Rewritten continues to operate, offering a nostalgic experience for those who grew up with the original MMO. Following the success of Club Penguin and ToonTown Online, Disney decided to tap into the magical world of Neverland and its most famous resident, Tinkerbell, to create a unique MMO tailored for kids. Pixie Hollow was born in September 2008, allowing players to step into the shoes, or wings, of their own custom fairy. It became a haven for young players, offering a world of creativity, exploration, and magic, all within Disney's fairy-filled universe. The success of the Tinkerbell franchise, which debuted with the Tinkerbell direct-to-DVD movie in 2008, set the stage for Pixie Hollow. Disney Interactive Studios developed Pixie Hollow as an MMO that would focus on the whimsical side of fantasy. Rather than combat or intense multiplayer competition, the game was built around peaceful exploration, customization, and social interaction, aimed at a younger, primarily female audience. The development team crafted a magical world where players could create and customize their own fairy avatars. Players could choose from a variety of fairy talents, such as Tinker Fairies, Water Fairies, and Garden Fairies, and then embark on adventures throughout the enchanted world of Pixie Hollow. Players could fly freely around the world and explore a variety of picturesque locations, each tied to the fairy talents. Players could interact with NPCs like Tinkerbell and her friends from the Disney Fairies movies. They'll embark on quests and participate in a wide array of activities. One of the game's highlights was its strong focus on creativity and customization, allowing players to collect resources like flowers, leaves, and water droplets to craft clothing and furniture for their fairy. The game also featured mini-games such as Harvest Hustle and Firefly Light Up, along with seasonal events. The game also featured an intricate social system where players could add their friends, join fairy gatherings, and attend in-game parties. Disney leaned heavily into the Tinkerbell brand to promote Pixie Hollow, leveraging the popularity of the Disney Fairies franchise. The game was advertised through a variety of channels, including Disney Channel commercials, commercials, in-store promotions at Disney stores, and online campaigns. The Tinkerbell movie series, which expanded to several sequels, was another significant part of the game's marketing strategy. These movies helped introduce players to the characters and world of Pixie Hollow, making the game feel like a natural extension of the cinematic experience. However, as with many children's MMOs, Pixie Hollow faced challenges when it came to maintaining player interest over the long term. The game's repetitive quests and limited content updates eventually led to a gradual decline in player activity. Despite its relatively strong start, Pixie Hollow was among the Disney MMOs that were shut down that year, alongside ToonTown and Pirates Online. The official servers for Pixie Hollow were closed on September 19th, 2013. While ToonTown and Pirates Online have seen robust fan revivals, Pixie Hollow has not been as lucky. There have been some small-scale fan projects attempting to recreate the game, but none have gained the same level of success or attention as the other Disney MMO revivals. In 2010, building on the success of ToonTown Online and Club Penguin, Disney Interactive Studios turned to another of its popular film franchises for inspiration, Cars. With its vibrant characters and racing theme, World of Cars Online was born, an MMO where players could live out their racing dreams in the world of Radiator Springs. Set in the same universe as the Cars movies, this MMO aimed to engage kids in an interactive experience with their favorite characters from the franchise. While the idea of racing through a digital Radiator Springs sounded promising, World of Cars Online struggled to find its footing. The game was launched with great expectations, but ultimately couldn't compete with other online experiences at the time. It ran out of gas after only 2 years, quietly shutting down in 2012, making it one of Disney's short-lived MMOs. Developed by Avenue Technologies and launched in June 2010, the game was designed as a browser-based MMO that would tap into the fan base of the Cars franchise, particularly young kids who are already familiar with Lightning McQueen, Mater, and other beloved characters from the films. The development team aimed to recreate the charm of Radiator Springs in a digital format. Players could create their own customizable car, interact with characters from the Cars movies, and race through iconic locations like Ornament Valley and Tailfin Pass. The game was packed with mini-games, quests, and the ability to design and personalize vehicles. Racing was the game's primary mechanic. Players could compete in different race modes, earning in-game currency to upgrade their cars with new parts or cosmetic items. Beyond the racing component, the game featured various mini-games and side quests. Players could help characters like Mater tow cars, take on delivery missions, or engage in other tasks to earn rewards. These quests were relatively simple, keeping the game accessible to younger players. The game also offered some light social interaction, allowing players to chat and collaborate with their friends. When World of Cars Online launched in 2010, it was heavily promoted alongside Cars 2, which was set to release the following year. Disney used its vast media resources to market the game through Disney Channel, Disney XD, and various online platforms, positioning it as the perfect complement to the popular film series. In addition, cross-promotions were featured in Disney stores and at Disneyland and Disney World. Despite the heavy marketing push, however, World of Cars Online never managed to attract the large player base that Disney had hoped for. Its simplistic gameplay, coupled with a lack of meaningful updates, made it difficult for the game to compete with the other MMOs on the market. By 2012, it was clear that World of Cars Online was not going to become the next big MMO. Disney's focus began to shift towards more successful ventures like Club Penguin, and in February 2012, Disney quietly announced that World of Cars Online will be shutting down, and the servers were officially taken offline in March 2012. The shutdown came without much fanfare, likely due to the game's smaller player base and relatively short lifespan. Unlike other Disney MMOs which sparked outcry and fan revivals, World of Cars Online faded into obscurity after its closure. No significant fan projects emerged to bring the game back, and it remains one of the lesser-known entries in Disney's MMO history. But one Disney MMO that I've never heard of before, and I find incredibly interesting, is an MMORPG known as Virtual Magic Kingdom. This MMO allowed players to walk through digital recreations of Disneyland, including some of the most famous locations like Main Street USA and Adventureland. As players explored, they could interact with other players, trade items, and participate in a wide variety of minigames. One of the most popular features in VMK was the ability to decorate your own own virtual room. Players could customize their personal spaces with furniture, decorations, and items they earned by completing in-game tasks or visiting the real Disney parks. The sense of creativity and personalization made VMK a hit with players who enjoyed building their own themed environments. As mentioned before, the game had a trading system where players could exchange items and decorations with each other. This gave the game a strong community feel, as players would frequently meet up in virtual spaces to show off their collections, plan trades, or just hang out in the virtual park. And from looking at the gameplay, graphics, and general design of VMK, it's obvious they pulled some inspiration from another popular MMO chat room type experience, Habbo Hotel, giving VMK's look and atmosphere a familiar charm. Disney's marketing strategy for VMK was heavily tied to the theme parks. As part of Disneyland's 50th anniversary celebration, the game was designed as an interactive promotional tool, encouraging park visitors to participate in the digital experience. Special kiosks were set up at Disneyland and Walt Disney World, where players could log into their VMK accounts and complete unique quests tied to real-life attractions. Completing these quests often rewarded players with exclusive in-game items, such as ride-themed furniture or costumes. This cross-promotion helped boost the game's visibility and made it an exciting addition for park-goers looking for something to enhance their theme park experience. VMK was also heavily marketed through Disney Channel commercials and online campaigns. Despite its relatively short lifespan, Virtual Magic Kingdom managed to build a dedicated community of players. VMK developed a cult-like following after its shutdown. The game's limited-time nature, combined with its integration into Disneyland's anniversary celebrations, made it feel like a special, once-in-a-lifetime experience for many players. And as a result, VMK has remained a treasured memory for those who were active in the game during its peak. Virtual Magic Kingdom was originally intended to be a temporary online experience. However, due to its popularity, Disney kept the game running for 3 years. Unfortunately, in May 2008, Disney announced that VMK would be permanently closing its doors, marking the end of this unique digital theme park. The game was officially closed on May 21st, 2008, exactly 3 years after its initial launch. VMK has never seen a true fan revival, with it now sitting as a forgotten time capsule, being one of the first and only MMOs to successfully blend the lines between virtual and real-world experiences. That's all we have today for notable Disney MMOs. If you haven't subscribed to SavePoint, make sure you do so. And if the video earned your like, leave a like on it as well. It helps out a ton. With that said, we'll see you in the next one.